But I'm with Get a Fix to start Caulfield Cup Day.
Get a Fix moves up, takes the lead from Taken. Get a Fix won it. Get a Fix 3/4 of a length.
Also 0.5 units to win on Too Darn Lizzie.
Too Darn Lizzie, 100 metres to go. Can she do it all? Yes, she can. She's 2 lengths in front, and Too Darn Lizzie punched out, won it. Lady in Pink, a half revolutionary Miss Aria. Lady in Pink. Lady in Pink has won it. Revolutionary Miss second. Miss Aria third from Molly Nickers.
Hello everyone and welcome to my Cox Plate Day preview. 10 races, Moonee Valley. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Let's get a few things out the way. Firstly, I'm now on Wolf Den, the Salmonator YouTube, currently sitting 7th out of 600 punters in the month of October. Hopefully I can rise up in the leaderboard a little bit before the end of the month, so go and follow me on there. Also follow me on the Sportsbet feed because it's been absolutely popping off this week, starting with Thargominda, who didn't do much, but it pulled up with cardiac arrhythmia, so it was a forgive. Libby ended up running a place. Autumn Colours was my best of the day on Monday. It got the job done. Zoo Beauty won at $26, which I was thrilled about. Mastermind, which no one got on in Hong Kong, also got up. So if you're not following me on the Sportsbet feed, make sure you follow me on there. And if you're wondering how I got those selections, well, funnily enough, it was the algorithm. The algorithm got me those selections and it won. So I don't know whether it's just far superior on weekdays compared to weekends because they stink in the big races with the big prize money, so maybe it's easier for it to decipher with some lesser quality races. So yeah, stay tuned for that on the Sportsbet feed for more selections is what I meant. And then finishing off with the Wall of Fame, pretty one-sided vote this week. Duke de Sessa's Caulfield Cup win was the most voted. It goes up next to Antino on the wall, so how thrilling is that? Let's move on with the preview. Race 1 to start the day is an open handicap over the 1,000 metres. Frilled is the favourite at $4 ahead of Katsu, who's at $4.50. And then you've got $5.50 about for Holy Racket. Out to $7 for Philosopher, $8 for Red Hot Nick, and longer odds the rest. Frilled and Holy Racket come through this race at the Valley. It was a benchmark 84 over the 955. Holy Racket came out on top with the algorithm, but I'm with Frilled. I changed my selection because Frilled just should have won this race by a long way, and it drops down more kilos than Holy Racket off this performance. So I've got Frilled on top. It's 2 from 3 second up. It's 5 from 8 at the 1,000 metres. Don't necessarily think it gets the ideal map. I think it'll be off midfield on the outside, but I think it'll be out of trouble this start and blending into it. Holy Racket maps well again. Craig Williams rides. It's had a trial in between runs. It's going well. Katsu is the best horse in the race and can definitely win. That's the one I'm scared of. But I just think from gate 1, there's other horses that possess a little bit more earlier speed than it. So early gate speed, I should say, than it. So from gate 1, it might get trapped, and around the Valley, that's not ideal, but it's in with a good chance. And then Acromantula, first run for Lindsay Park, it can improve. But I'm in the corner of, to start the day, Frilled. Race 2 is the Group 3 Red Anchor Stakes for the 3-year-olds over the 1,200 metres, and the favourite is Ikasara coming down from Sydney at $3.20 ahead of Bazasto, who is at $3.50. Pisces is at $4.80, then out to $6 about for Winner's Edge, $9.50 for Bitter Creek, and longer odds the rest. We're going to take a look at the last start run of Bazasto. This was in the Guineas Prelude at Caulfield, where it started at $8 or SP'd $8 and was probably pretty disappointing in the end. I think it might have experienced second up syndrome off that good first up run at the Valley behind Angel Capital, and it was batting away in the worst part of the track on this day, so I think it was a forgive run from Bazasto. Now it's been given 5 weeks in between runs. Blake Shin goes back on this horse, maps well from gate 5. I think it can get back to its best. I've got it on top. In for second, I've ended up going for Bitter Creek, just because it brings the Bazasto form lines heading back to last preparation, finished alongside it in the JJ Atkins, so I think them two have to be rated similarly. Ikasara in there for third. This horse can most definitely win. Its racing style suits the Valley. It'll be out in front from gate 2. Geordie Childs on, brilliant front running rider. it'll be doing its best work. And Wolfgang, first up, gelded. It's had a few minor setbacks, so that's the only thing that's questioning me. But Damien Lane is booked, which fills me with confidence. But I like Bazasto in race number 2. Race 3 at the Valley is the listed Crockett Stakes for the 3-year-old fillies over the 1,200 metres. The favourite is Certain Rise at $3.20, ahead of $4.40 about for Seascape, then $4.80 for the third favourite Savagery Vibe, and then $9.54 Anisa. Longer odds the rest. This was the last start run of Certain Rise. Its maiden win at Mornington. This is a very, very, very impressive horse. It's had 2 starts in its career. On debut, it got beaten by a horse called Lofty Arch, who won last week at Caulfield. Then it came out at Mornington and did this, which was absolutely unbelievable. Draws gate 9, but has the early gate speed to cross the field, and I think it'll be outside the leader, and I think it'll be running a really, really good race. I went against my algorithm on this one, and I just think it's better than these, and I'm excited to see what it can do. In for second, I've got Zoo Baby. This horse beat Couples Retreat last start at Warwick Farm. Third up, Fit. It's got some early gate speed from gate 3. It'll be right up on speed, probably leading and be going well. Couples Retreat was the horse that actually came out on top in the algorithm, but I put Zoo Baby and Certain Rise ahead of it. It's in good form, and Couples Retreat has the early gate speed to lead, but it might go to Friday night. That's the only reason I was questioning it. And then in there for 4th, I've ended up going for Seascape. This horse brings good form from New South Wales as well, and maps well too. I'm in the corner of Certain Rise, the up-and-comer in race 3. Race 4 is the Group 2 Fillies Classic for the 3-year-old fillies over the 1,600 metres. The favourite is Polemnia. At the moment, it's at $3.70, ahead of Cavity Bay, the second favourite at $3.90. $5 about for Double Market, and then longer odds the rest. We're going to take a look at the run last week of In Her Eyes behind Toodarn Lizzie, where it was plain, but I'll explain why I don't mind In Her Eyes. So, going back the past 4 editions of the Fillies Classic, last year, Grinzinger Bell was the only horse off the week back up to run in the Fillies Classic. It ran second. It opened at 50-1 last year. Before that, it was Zoe's Promise off a week and a half into the Fillies Classic, and it won. The year before that, it was Mokalua off the week back up, it won. The year before that, it was Yes Baby Yes off the week back up, it won. So the week back up produces winners in this race, and although I don't think In Her Eyes is the best horse in the race, I just think it suits on the week back up heading into a Fillies Classic. Draws gate 9, so we'll be out of trouble on the outside, probably around midfield, hopefully in the 3-wide train, and be storming into it late. I've got it on top, 0.5 units to win and 0.5 units to place. In for second, I've got the favourite Polemnia. Brings good form from New South Wales, J-Mac on. I'm just a bit concerned about gate 1 and a horse that gets back. Matt Laurie has Brillante. I've got it in there for third. He doesn't place his horses in these types of races unless he thinks it's good. I think it's pretty good. It's been racing well. It won its main last start. It'll be in with a chance. And then in for 4th, I've got Cavity Bay. This horse is the class of the race, and it's off the week back up off the Hill Smith, which is another horse that can run well off the week back up, I should say. But I like In Her Eyes to take out race number 4. Race 5 is the Group 3 JRA Cup over the 2,040 metres. And the impressive Kingswood is the favourite at $2.15, ahead of 3 horses at $5.50. Their Future History, Gear Up, and also Second to None. Longer odds the rest. Going to take a look at the last start run of Gear Up. This was in the Herbert Power, where it started favourite and got beaten 6 lengths. Now it was a total forgive. It just had to do too much work from the wide gate to get outside the leader, and it was a complete forgive run. On Saturday, it looks to get the perfect map, where from gate 7 it looks to settle outside the leader, which is likely to be Smokin' Romans, and hopefully them two control the race. Gear Up will get a good run, not have to do as much work, and I like it. I've got a 1 unit to win on Gear Up. I think it's ready to win. In for second, I've got Second to None. This horse is pretty good and maps well from gate 4 up to the 2,000 metres. Suits was finishing off well last start in the Seymour Cup, so it's in with a good chance. In for third, I've got Future History for Mark Zara. Brings the Metropolitan form and was good before that at Caulfield in the Naturalism. And Smokin' Romans, likely leader in the race. Blinkers back on. It's in with a good chance. You're probably wondering where Kingswood is. Well, I think it's a good chance. Just off that Smokin' Romans, well, it ran against Smokin' Romans last start in the same race, and Smokin' Romans gets a little weight swing on it. Smokin' Romans gets blinkers on, and I think gets a better map than Kingswood, who looks to map to get gate 1 and be around midfield or so strung up. So I thought it was a tad under the odds. But yeah, it could come out and win. I like Gear Up though to take out race number 5, the JRA Cup. Race 6 is the Group 2 Drum and Golf Vase over the 2,040 metres for the 3-year-olds. The favourite is Politely Done for Damien Lane at $3.20, ahead of Red Aces at $3.60. Firm Agreement is at $3.80. King of Thunder out to $6.50. And then longer odds the rest. We're going to take a look at the last start run of Firm Agreement. This was in the Gloaming Stakes behind El Costello and Swift Falcon. This is really good form lines. Firm Agreement did really well to finish as close as it did to El Costello on this day because it was batting away in the worst part of the track. Now I think up to the 2,000 metres, Blake Shin on, Annabelle Neesham and Rob Archibald send this horse south. From gate 7 should get, I think, to midfield on the outside of runners, and I think that's the spot to be in this Drum and Golf Vase. It'll be hard to beat. In for second, I do have, who do I have in there for second? King of Thunder, another horse that comes down from Sydney. John O'Shea, James McDonald, blinkers on, ready to win. Opening Address is sort of my little value pick for Liam Howley. Was a good winner of a maiden 2 starts back. And was decent last start at Sale. I think it's over the odds. And then in there for 4th, I think I've got Red Aces. This horse was scratched last week, but before that mishap last week was good behind Keeneland in the Superimpose. I like Firm Agreement. I think it can take out the Drum and Golf Vase. It's that time of the week. It's last man standing. Sammy, Too-Darn Lizzie, puts him clearly into second place now. In the green he is, so the reigning champ is coming for his 3rd title. Let's move on to what we're doing this week. Geordie's having 100 the win on Street Chase in the first at Doomben. Sammy is having 75 the win on Kingswood. And then a $25 place multi, Anisa, Superazi, and Mr Brightside. I haven't even done mine yet. That'll be edited in. But after we get to what Sky High Horse Racing is doing, he's having a $100 win multi, Kingswood into Broadsiding in the Cox Plate. So even I've forgotten to do the last man standing. That's what half of us are doing this week. Race 7 is the Group 2 McEwen Stakes over the 1,200 metres at weight for age level. The favourite is Oscar's Fortune. The WA Raider is at $3.30, ahead of Barraquil at $4. Then you've got out to $5 for both Mornington Glory and I'm Unstoppable. Longer odds the rest. We're going to take a look at the last start run of the Inferno. Yes, I'm with the Inferno on Saturday. This was its last start run in the listed Weekend Hustler Stakes, where it was never going to win by any stretch, but it should have finished a lot closer. Got held up at the top part of the straight and got hampered by its stablemate Von Hawk at about the 200 metres. It should have finished closer. The last time it was at this track and distance, it finished only 3 lengths behind Imperatriz. Imperatriz would be about $1.20 in this race, so I like that form line. I just think 3rd up, Blake Shin goes on, and it's back to a track it loves and a distance that it loves. Where it's won 6 times at 1,200 metres. I just think it appeals the double figures to me, so I'm happy to have it on top. Ahead of Oscar's Fortune, who was good in the Scalacci behind Bellatrix Star and can go one better. It's 2 from 2 second up as well. In there for 3rd, I've got Barraquil, hard fit on speed. It'll be running well, and I'm Unstoppable. Don't like the map for it, but it'll be running on strongly. The Inferno, can it wind back the clock on Saturday? Race 8 is the Group 2 Crystal Mile over the 1,600 metres. Nugget is the favourite at $4.20, ahead of the second favourite, which is Plenty of Ammo at $4.60, $5 about for Royal Champion, $8 about for Superazi, $9.50 for the Toppy Uncle Bryn, and longer odds the rest. Nugget, this was its last start run in the Epsom behind Chao Wolf, only finished 4.5 lengths off Chao Wolf. This has ended up being my best of the day on Saturday, Nugget. I just think 3rd up, down to Victoria, blinkers on, J-Mac on, gate 6 can settle more forward. I just think it sets up for a Nugget win on Saturday. It doesn't look to be too many leaders, so I think can use its gate speed and position itself potentially in the lead even, and it'll be hard to run down. In for 2nd, I've got Plenty of Ammo. This horse was good 1st up. Could have nearly beaten Uncle Bryn with clear luck. Draws gate 4. It'll be in for a good map, good run, and a good performance. In for 3rd, I've got Light Infantry Man. Similar to the Inferno, 3rd up, Blake Shinon can map closer. I think it's over the odds. And in there for 4th, Royal Champion. Wasn't disgraced on its Australian debut last start and drops in weight. But I like Nugget. It's my best of the day in race 8. If you missed my preview of the Cox Plate, we'll go through it again. The Group 1 Cox Plate over the 2,040 metres, weight for age, is race 9. The favourite is Prognosis at $3, ahead of Sistina at $4.20, $5 for Pride of Jenni, $7 for Broadsiding, $9 for Mr Brightside, longer odds the rest. This was the last start run of Sistina in the Turnbull Stakes, where it just beat Buckaroo. I'm with Sistina on Saturday. I think she'll be hard to beat. Obviously, she had that mishap on Tuesday morning, but I'm not too worried about it. I think people are overreacting to it. David Hayes said on SEN yesterday morning that he's had horses before that's been loose on the track running laps the week before the race, and they've been fine, just not the Cox Plate and not broadcasted. So I just think everyone's going to overreact to it, and I'm going to be with Sistina, and hopefully she can win. She maps well from gate 4. Pride of Jenni in there for second. She'll be out in front. She'll be given her all. She's proven off the week back up. So I think she's in with a good chance, definitely. Mr Brightside has been running up to Pride of Jenni all preparation. Was second in this race last year, maps well from gate 2, and Prognosis could be anything, could just bolt in. It's in with a good chance as well for D Lane. Sistina for me in the Cox Plate. Race 10 is the Group 3 Tessio Stakes over the 2,040 metres for the mares. The favourite is Firestorm at $3.10, ahead of Private Legacy, who's at $5, $7 about for Lady Jones, $8 for Little Mix. Then you got out to $9.50 for Molly Bloom, and longer odds the rest. Molly Bloom and also Firestorm come out of the Epsom. This race on Saturday, the Tessio, confused me a bit because Chris Waller's bringing both Molly Bloom and Firestorm south. I assume J-Mac would have gotten the better ride, but J-Mac's riding Molly Bloom over Firestorm, whereas J-Mac's ridden Firestorm when it's been in Sydney and it's trials in Sydney. So I'm not too sure what's going on there. I thought Firestorm was clearly the better run out of the two in the Epsom. I'm still happy to have it on top, but I definitely won't be betting. Gate 4 looks to map well. It'll be running well, hopefully winning the last. In for second, I've got Little Mix. This horse was actually on top on the algorithm, but I don't like horses second up in distance switching states. I don't like it, so that's why I've got it in there for second. In for third, I've got Molly Bloom. This horse, James McDonald rides. Third up now, ready to peak. And then for fourth, Wishlaw Lass from gate 2 will be right on speed. Little query at the 2,000 metres though. I'm in the corner of Firestorm, the favourite to take out the last race. Now it's time for the quaddie. Nowhere near it last week, but got Lady in Pink, which was alright. Let's move on to this week. Race 7, 1 the Inferno, 2 Oscar's Fortune, 3 Mornington Glory, 5 I Am Unstoppable, and 8 Barraquil. In race 8, going for the 4 Nugget, the 5 Light Infantryman, the 6 Super Razzie, 7 Royal Champion, and 11 Plenty of Ammo. The Cox Plate, 1 Mr Brightside, 2 Prognosis, 6 Pride of Jenni, 7 Sistina, and 8 Broadsiding. And in the Tessio, the last race, 2 Wishlaw Lass, 3 Molly Bloom, 5 Little Mix, 6 Firestorm, and 8 Private Legacy. That's what I'm doing for the quaddie on Cox Plate Day. Well, thank you everyone for watching this preview. It's a 3-unit spend this week, a little bit on In Her Eyes, and then a unit that went on both Gear Up and Nuggets. So hopefully they all go well. Thanks everyone again for watching, and until next week's video, bye for now.